Pakistan cricket at its best. 1 minute down, next minute up.
Absolutely delighted to have alongside me a very famous face, especially to cricket fans in the subcontinent, particularly the IPL and the PSL, former left-arm pacer, a bit like 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐷𝐸 Shafidi back in the day, Alan.
Back in the day.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Played for Gloucestershire, Glamorgan between 1975 and 1983. Very famous commentator, a voice that many people around the world enjoy. He's worked in many T20 leagues. As I said before, the PSL, the IPL are just some of the leagues that you've worked on. The one and only Alan Wilkins. Thanks very much for your time, Alan.
Good, Saj. Thanks very much indeed. Yeah, there were at cricket career. We used to come here a lot to Edgbaston. Used to love playing here. This ground's beautiful, isn't it?
It's one of the best, lovely. Undoubtedly. Yeah. And here we are for the World Championship of Legends, Alan. The game, an interesting idea, isn't it?
I think it's a great idea because, you know, I mean, look, this is half full, but the match that we're all looking forward to is India-Pakistan, and it's sold out.
Yes.
So people still have an interest in the players, even when they sort of semi-retired or retired. But people want to watch them. You know, you create you create sort of an interest with a player that's a lifelong interest. You know, I still think about Zahir Abbas, who was a great friend of mine, and I played with him at Gloucestershire and Sadiq Mohammed. And Javed Mianda at Glamorgan, so they become lifelong friends, and that's the game of cricket.
And Indian and Pakistani cricket fans, I think once you become a hero, that's it, you're a hero for life, aren't you? And some of the guys that are going to be playing later on today, you know, the likes of 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐷𝐸 and Shahid Afridi, and those guys are just legends, aren't they?
Yeah, Yunus Khan. I mean, you know, Misbah still playing.
Yes.
So there's so much to look forward to.
Alan, where were you for PSL 9? No sign of you.
I don't know. I think there might have been a misunderstanding. Whatever it was, I was ready to work, but look. You get invited some years, you don't get invited for others. But it didn't happen. Didn't materialise. I hope to do the next PSL because I actually have a very strong connection with Pakistan and with the PSL because I worked on the inaugural tournament, the very first ball for 2016. It was in Dubai. You know, obviously Pakistan were playing cricket in Dubai then, in the UAE. So I have this strong affiliation with the brand. And when you don't work on something that you feel very much a connection with, an emotional connection, it does hurt. So, you know, hopefully next year, God willing, as you say, inshallah, I'll be there.
And you mentioned your affiliation with Pakistan. Obviously, the fans absolutely adore you in Pakistan, but you must have had a chance to visit a few of the cities and look around Pakistan. Enjoy that experience?
I have. It's amazing. Well, you know, obviously Karachi and Lahore, Islamabad, but we haven't been able to go too far because of the security situation, which is getting better. But where I do want to go is KPK. I want to go right up. I want to go right up into those northern areas. And the people who are saying they'll take me. So you know, it's just that area of Pakistan is a sort of, it's a mystery to me. And of course, it's where the great Shaheen Shah Afridi is from. And I said to him, you know, I want to go up to where you're from. I want to see.
Maybe he can take you.
Well, maybe, you know, but he's too busy. Too busy.
What did you make of the T20 World Cup, Alan? Obviously, we've seen India go unbeaten throughout the tournament. What did you think of the standard of cricket?
Well, the standard of cricket depends on the quality of the pitches, and they weren't good enough. Look, the New York pitches weren't good enough. That was admitted by the ICC. They weren't good enough. They were drop-in pitches, and I think if you're going to use a drop-in pitch, it has to be in use for at least a year before you play on it. It can't be just drop it in and with 5 months later play cricket on it, or 4 months later. So I think that was a problem. The pitch in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they hadn't played international cricket on there since 2013. It was no surprise to me that Afghanistan beat Australia because they had the right attack for that. Nepal came within one run of beating South Africa. So I felt that the pitches, and of course we had a lot of rain. It was the rainy season in Florida, so there were a lot of factors mitigating against high-scoring matches. Now, the TV moguls will tell you that they like high-scoring matches because fans want to see the ball going out the ground all the time. But the cricket aficionados like more of a contest with the ball, which I prefer. I'd prefer to see a lower scoring contest where the bowler has a bit more say. Cricket in Rawalpindi, bowlers don't have a chance. We had a game there not last season, where the scores were 268 and 252 in one PSL game. So I think you've got to balance it up.
One-day scores.
Like one-day scores. So I think, in answer to your question, it was an ambitious project. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup, ambitious. 6 venues in the Caribbean, 3 in the USA. Might have been over too big a geographical area to sustain interest all the way through the tournament. There were some great matches, and let's be honest, it was great to see USA come through, Canada, but Ireland had a poor tournament, Pakistan had a poor tournament, Sri Lanka didn't come up with the goods. So there are a lot of questions, but for that alone, I think the pitches helped some of those lesser nations, I don't like to say lesser nations, but some of the associate teams to have a better day.
And it's no coincidence that the strongest T20 league in the world, the IPL, is breeding great cricketers for Indian cricket. What can other leagues learn from the IPL, Alan? You've done commentary on the IPL for a number of years. Yeah. You've seen day to day how it works.
Well, yes, they're high quality pitches, but they're high quality players. If the financial rewards are that great, and they are, you don't have to be a foreigner to earn money in the IPL. And I think what happens is you increase your player base because more players at a younger age want to get involved. So it's not just IPL cricket, the franchises, but cricket domestically in India is very strong. Ranji Trophy cricket is strong, and the BCCI has said you have to make your mark in domestic cricket before you're considered as a T20 player, and I think that's good. And I think possibly in Pakistan it's the same. I think there's an emphasis on playing domestic cricket and reaching a certain level where you can raise your game to that and then be considered. I don't think, there are some cricketers around the world. There's one, his name just came to mind, Will Smeed of England.
Yes.
He said he doesn't want to play any more red ball cricket. He wants to be a white ball cricketer. Well, I don't think that's fulfilling in many ways. And it could backfire because I think you've got to play with the red ball. You've got to play a longer form of cricket. There's so many parameters about playing. But I think now you see the other thing is that IPL has been going since 2008. So we've had 16 tournaments. The PSL has been going since 2016. So we've had 9. So, it's getting better. The PSL is very close to the IPL. You've got the ILT20 in the UAE, you've got the SA20 as well. But I still think that there has to be a mix of playing red ball cricket with the white ball.
You mentioned Pakistan at the T20 World Cup. I'll use the word, it was a disaster, Alan.
Yeah.
Where did they go wrong?
I'd like to have gone through their tournament bit by bit. They were so close to beating India, weren't they? They were close to beating India in New York on a pitch that wasn't really good enough. Rohit played beautifully for India, but that game was there for Pakistan to win. It's a very fine margin in T20 cricket. A game can go like that. Where did they go wrong? You can look at a whole host of things. At the top of the order, maybe, the runs weren't coming. I think Shaheen wasn't picking up wickets early on. Normally, he's a destroyer of the best batters in the world with the swinging ball. Maybe he wasn't swinging that ball enough. He'll get it back. He's too good. The stars didn't align for Pakistan in the tournament. And of course, if you missed one, England nearly slipped. Yes. England, they had that rained off match against Scotland, and they lost to Australia, but they only just got through to play in the Super 8. So the fine margins in that tournament.
T20 cricket, Alan, you've touched upon the subject of a number of leagues. Great for me covering cricket, great for you commentating. Yeah. But is there a danger that it becomes overkill and there's too many T20 leagues?
Yeah. The simple answer is yes. This is a level of cricket that is growing, the Masters. And I like this. I think it sustains interest. Look, there's people come to watch. But I think if young players are starting out in their cricket life, if you're an 18-year-old, 17, 18, 19, and you're saying, I'm only going to play T20 cricket, I think you're missing out on a cricket education, because cricket is, it's not just a sport, it's a way of life, you know, it's a way of life, and you develop a way of life. You're with friends, you share the dressing room, and it's not just about crash, bang, wallop. It's more than that. It's an education. There are lessons to be learned. So I mean that. I didn't bowl with a white ball, but I bowled in one-day cricket and 40-over cricket, which was different from county cricket, and you bowled differently. You had to learn different skills. So there's another line that's used by modern coaches. They'll say, he's not a white ball bowler. Well, that's nonsense. You should be able to bowl with a purple ball, an orange ball, a pink ball. And that's what I really do believe that if a young player is saying, I only want to play white ball cricket, I would say to him, well, you're going to miss out on a lot of fun and a fuller education about playing this game.
In terms of T20 cricket, Alan, last couple of questions.
Yeah.
Pakistan, particularly, what do they need to change? Is it the approach? Is it the mentality, the mindset, or a combination of all of those things? Well,
you know, I recently did the Ireland-Pakistan series in Ireland, in Clontarf. They've got it all. Ireland won the one game.
Yes.
And then Pakistan came back strongly. They've got all the component parts. They really do. You know, Pakistan has always had the component parts. You know that. What do you do? Do you change the batting order? Yes, you can change the batting order. I think you've got to give Gary Kirsten some time with the team. Let him have a look at the squad. And, you know, he's a very, very experienced, seasoned coach. If the PCB, they brought Gary Kirsten in, clearly that World Cup campaign didn't go the way Gary wanted it. But you've got to give him time. And whoever he's going to deal with as captain, they have to deal with that. So it's almost laying out like a new structure, or a structure that everyone buys into, the new formula, or whatever formula Gary Kirsten works out. And if it doesn't work out, then possibly you change the coach. But I think you have to have a bit of stability in there, stability and structure, and so that everyone believes in what their role is. And so you don't feel, oh heck, if I don't perform today, I'm out. You know, I think you've got to say to a player, look, I'm going to give you 3 games, 4 games, see how you go. So I think there's a bit of an approach here where you've got to look at all those component parts and say, right, we're going to steady this ship. You know, we've got a squad of 16. Gary Kirsten is going to liaise with the captain, and who that captain might be, and we'll give it a go. We'll over a period of time.
And finally, Alan, there's a lot of your Pakistani fans probably watching this video. I know your Urdu skills have been developing over the years in all your experience with the PSL. Any message in Urdu for all your admirers?
Urdu, oh my goodness. You should...
keep it clean.
I don't know, mashallah, you know, I mean, I've learned some of the wrong expressions as well, but
we don't hear them.
No, look, I mean, I think, you know, you must not give up on Pakistan. I also, you know, I know that it's a very emotional sport. Cricket's a very emotional sport, but I think personal attacks on social media against players is something that I really do not want to see. And I would urge any of you who know people who do this kind of thing, just have a word with them quietly and say, don't do it, because nobody wants to go out there and get naught. Nobody wants to bowl badly. Nobody wants to drop a catch. You know, the badge that you wear here, you know, if it's the Pakistan badge or India or England, Australia, whoever it is, you're proud to wear that, and you want to do your best. So support the team, get behind the team. Supporting that team and believing in them will do a heck of a lot more good than showering them with some abuse. That's not going to do anyone any good. So Pakistan, Zindabad. You'll do all right.
Thanks very much, Alan. There we are, folks. The one and only Alan Wilkins.